I generally don't like doing tier lists because things always change. But this is different. This is for MoP arenas. And we're not getting any balance changes. This is just how good each spec is in MoP arenas. No balance changes. This is from memory from 13 years ago. Keep in mind, when the actual MoP beta comes, or when actual MoP releases, maybe we'll see some new stuff come up. And keep in mind, this is season 15, not season 12, 13, or 14. This is season 15. This is end of MoP. Okay. Okay. This is crazy. This is crazy. Stormer, thanks for that prime. So Shadow Priest, I'm gonna put in like the A or S tier. I'm just gonna try to like get the easy ones out of the way first. Frost Mage, I'm gonna putting in the A or S tier as well. In the S tier, I mean, no, absolute no brainer. We're putting Resto Druid, Resto Shaman, Elemental Shaman, Affliction Warlock, and Moonkin. So all of these are pretty much no-brainers. I feel like Mage and Shadow Priest could also go in S. It depends how picky we want to be. It would either be the end of S here or the start of A. I feel like they're both very similar. To me, I feel like Shadow Priest are a worse Affliction lock. So maybe it's like this? I don't know. It's kind of hard on where you want to put this. Maybe something like that. That's tough. In terms of healers, after our Druid and our Shaman, we have, I think, Mistweaver Monks and Holy Priests. I would say Pallies are probably the worst healer. We're not going to rank the tank specs. Arcane Mage, I thought, like, the thing about MoP is, like, everything kind of worked. Even the things that didn't really work kind of worked. So, like, Arcane Mages weren't, like, the greatest, and Holy Pallies weren't the greatest, but you could still run them and do quite well. Destro, I would say, is more like a B tier spec, which, once again, you could make work pretty well. Fire Mages... I think Fire's better than Arcane, but not as good as Frost. Maybe another B tier spec. Very good still, but not insane. Rogue, I would actually put like a little lower. I'd put Rogue like above Holy Pally, but maybe behind Fire Mage. Yeah. Disc Priest, I think above Holy Pally, but below Holy Priest and below Monk. Yeah. Okay, there's certain specs that I... Like Blood DK, I'm not going to do. Okay, Warrior. Warrior, I'd put above Rogue. I'd maybe put Warrior above Rogue, but below Shadow Priest and Mage. Maybe high B or low A for Warrior. Maybe high B. That's a tough one. Rets, I think, are kind of in that same boat where it's like low A or high B. Let's put... Oh, yeah, tough. Very tough. Let's go high A. And then Hunters... I don't remember what spec Hunters played in MoP. I feel like it was BM in Season 12, and then they all respec'd when Stampede got nerfed. Was it Survival? I think BM got nerfed, guys. Even questioning S isn't aware how good all the LSD variant stuff is. Yeah, I mean, S is pretty set in stone, guys. It's not even close. Yeah, I almost never do tier lists. This is just because MoP isn't gonna get changes. I can't remember if it was let's just pretend. Was it Survival? Man, I can't remember if it was Survival or BM or even Marks. I can't remember the spec. And I just realized I put Combat Rogue instead of Sub Rogue. We'll do Sub. Okay, so Feral Druid. So Feral is another one that I feel like maybe a little bit worse than Warrior, but like better than Monk. Put Feral like right around there. Enhance is another one, which is like here. Oh man. So what's tough about this list is like it's also squished. Like there's nothing that's like terrible, like way down here, and there's like all of these are like very close. Like you could easily put more of these specs into S if you wanted, or you could easily start moving up more of these into B, right? So it's like all of these are very good is the point, right? It's like, oh, that's tough. This is for like 3s, yeah, like arena. Yep. Okay, so Unholy Death Knights, I feel like were strong, but not that strong compared to some other stuff. So we're gonna put them at like C or like maybe end of B. And I feel like Warrior and Enhance should maybe go A. And I feel like Hunter maybe goes A. Maybe like end of A. But if that's going A, then so should Feral. And so should Destro, probably. Yeah, this looks better. Okay, I think this looks better. Okay, so we have Windwalker Monks, which I think is also A. So when people ask me like what specs are good in MoF, it's like, bro, like we have so many A tier specs or S tier specs. Like we have so, like, it's just so top heavy. Like everything is so darn good. How isn't ARMS top of S? Well, like in terms of like tournament play or like very, very top ladder play, like you could see ARMS, but it wasn't as consistent as this stuff. I mean, like I said, if you wanted to put like Mage up here, I wouldn't even blink. Same with Shadow Priest. Maybe same with Warrior. I wouldn't be like against that. I think that would be like a fine way to do it as well, like this. But I think it might be more accurate like this. Like, I just don't think Shadow Priests are on the same tier as Aflox, even though Shadow Priests are insane. I think Shadow Priests are a little lower. Maybe you keep Shadow Priest in A and move Mage up to S. And maybe that works better. Maybe. Like that. Maybe that works better. Alright. Wait, hold on. We're gonna have to pause this real quick. The Mists part once again, July 21st, pre-patch July 1st. Holy crap. Wait, when is that? May, June, July. Holy crap, dude. July 21st, guys, mark your calendars. That is crazy. July 21st. We're going back home. Wow. So yeah, like 2 months. Okay, we got a lot of bugs to fix in 2 months. All right, so we have BM Hunters. I can't remember if it was BM or Survival. I think BM and Survival were maybe both played. And then Tank. Frost DKs, I don't think people played. Demo Lock, I don't think people played. Combat Rogue, I don't think people played. Asa Rogue, I don't think people played. Fury Warrior, people didn't really play. Marks Hunter, I think people did play some Marks. But I don't really remember it too much. Okay, so most of these specs down here, people didn't play. I can't remember about Marks Hunter as much. I feel like people might have played Marks, but well, I don't know. I'll just put an X as Survival. These specs down here, people didn't really play too much. So if we're looking at this list here, this is probably where I would put arena specs on a tier list. Now, this list isn't perfect. This list isn't perfect, okay? You could easily make an argument that certain specs could be moved down or up by like one, like you could say maybe Shadow Priest up here. You could maybe even say Warrior up here, right? It comes down to more like semantics. For me, I think something like this makes the most sense, where there's a ton of really good A tier specs. Like almost everything is just very solid. And then you have your S tier, which is like, you know, your LSDs, you kind of a step above everything else. And then you have a bunch of B tier and C tier stuff that's also still pretty darn good. Like even this B and C tier stuff, like definitely works pretty well. And keep in mind, this is season 15, not 12, 13, or 14. So anyway, do you guys agree with this list? If not, what would you change? I'm curious. The unranked specs, yeah, no one really plays these, or not too many. Windwalker, Frost, and Arms are all S tier. I would say that Frost Mage could be moved to S tier, but I don't know about Arms, and I don't know about Windwalker. Maybe. Is Rogue really that bad in MoP? Rogue is not the greatest in MoP. You could make an argument to move Rogue to like here if you wanted. And same thing with Priest. You could maybe make an argument to move like Rogue and Priest up 1. Unholy DK is more like A tier. I'm trying to remember what people actually played Unholy Death Knights in. Like, you didn't see much TSG at all. You would see like DK Locke sometimes, but not too much. You'd see like DK Feral sometimes, but not much. DK Windwalker. DK Windwalker was actually pretty good. That's what people ran, right? DK Windwalker. PHDK, I don't think you saw too much PHDK. Every now and then. You saw a lot of Ret Hunter. And you saw a lot of like some Feral Hunter, Ret Hunter. Sometimes a DK Hunter. I think Windwalker DK was the comp that a lot of DKs played. You saw some Ret DK, yeah. Jelly was rank 1 with Rev as PHDK. Yeah, I remember. Yeah, I think this looks about right. It's like I said, a lot of it is semantics, but yeah. I think this feels like generally kind of right. Here, I'm gonna message this to Oz. See what he thinks. Oz will correct me if I'm wrong. What do you think is wrong here? No one played Demo Lock? Not too many. In season 12, people did. Are they gonna get rid of add-ons? Negative. Yeah, arena based, yeah. How different will it be now? Everyone's gonna be so good. Ave, thanks for the tier 1. Varshan, thanks for the tier 1. Appreciate it. I don't think a tier list does this justice because it's not like A tier is a lot better than B. They're all so close. Exactly what I just said, Zenlin. Yep. Everything is squished. So like even A isn't that much worse than S. And even B isn't that much worse than A. And even C isn't that much worse than B. So like I think this tier list works, but you have to like, in your mind, you have to like squish it. Because all of these things are actually very close. Does that make sense? Like everything is squished. So yeah, that's exactly how I'm thinking about it. Yes, guys, MoP releases pre-patch July 1st. MoP release July 21st. Okay. You can call them A++ to squish them, for example. Okay, so this would be like S+, and this would be like S. And then this would be like A, and this would be like B. Does that make more sense to you guys? Does that make more sense? S+, so let's move Mage down to S then. S+, S, A, B. That I think this makes more sense to my brain. It's like the same thing, I just kind of relabeled it. I messaged it to Oz, and he says, doesn't look bad. I said, what do you think is wrong? He said, doesn't look bad. Wow. Is there anything I wonder if there's anything he would move. Yeah, you guys want a true tier list? Look, S++, S+, S, A. Honestly, no cap, this is really how the tier list should look in MoP, right? You have specs that are just like so darn good, and then you have specs that are like really darn good, and then you have specs that are like really good, and then you have specs that are good. Yep. Put Holy Priest up there. Guys, this is season 15. Holy Priest was really good in season 13. Holy Priest is still good in 15, but not like they were in 13. Wasn't Arcane terrible? I mean, yeah, that's why I have them down in A, but you can still run it. It still was fine. They're trying to get the SOD players on Kata. Get a boost from Balnazar in SOD. No way, bro. They're trying to get all the SOD players to MOP. Take advantage of a golden opportunity and get a head start from MOP. Through June 30th, successfully defeat Dreadlord Balnazar in Enclave in SOD to earn 1 free character boost. That is unprecedented. That is hilarious. That is nuts. That is absolutely unprecedented news. Blizzard has never done something like this. Let me have you guys do a raid in this version of WoW to get a free max level in this version of WoW. That's ridiculous. I think it's kind of cool, actually, but I'm a SOD player, so of course I do. How do you guys feel about this if you don't play SOD? Probably terrible, right? Because you're like, I don't want to play SOD, but now everyone that does gets a free 85 boost. Like, if you don't play SOD, you probably hate this. But for me, I do play SOD, so I'm like, oh, cool. This is great. Wait, hold on. Do you guys think this is a W or an L? I'm actually curious. Like 100% honest. Oh, everyone likes it. Okay. I mean, at the end of the day, I guess it's a W because it's free no matter what. Like, it's there's no loss here. Give it to retail players. Yeah. So that's probably the biggest criticism, right? Like, why SOD? Why not retail? Why not, if you clear the retail rate on heroic, you get a free, you know, whatever. Like, I could see that being a big criticism. Like, why only SOD? I think what Blizzard is paying attention to with an announcement like this is the Ironforge Pro data. Well, they probably have their own data, but like in Ironforge Pro, dude, on Kata, there's 94,000 weekly raiders, which is like pretty good. And you go to SOD and they're like, bro, SOD has like, what's the math on this? Like 80%, 85% of the Kata pop, right? Kata, 95,000 weekly raiders, SOD, 75,000. It's like, oh crap. If we're gonna launch MOP, like, let's get some of these SOD players over to Kata and be like, MOP, and have them check out MOP. It's probably what it is, right? They're like, SOD is doing so well that they wanna move that over. And then Anniversary's trucking along as well.